Welcome back. You're watching Hard Copy, coming to you from our studios in Abuja. Our guest tonight is Governor Darius Ishaku of Taraba State, and we're just about to turn our attention to the prohibition of open grazing law in the state. Now, Your Excellency,
yes,
only recently you signed into law the anti-grazing bill in Taraba State, and herdsmen have complained that the law is not fair to them. How are you accommodating the different interests and ensuring that this law is seen to be fair to all?
Well, the law had an open session, and they even went around the 3 senatorial districts in the state before the enactment to sell the law and to talk to people and receive their input. And I would have thought that all that had been done. And in all sincerity of purpose, this law is the best thing for the herdsmen. Because world over, nobody moves about with cattle. Ranching is the best thing. I'm convinced beyond reasonable doubt that socially and economically, this is the best thing for the herdsmen.
Well, they don't trust that the state is going to provide land for them to be able to ranch their cattle.
Well, I have already set up a committee to sensitize them. I've given 6 months for that sensitization. We have already identified places, not a place, so that we can demonstrate what ranching is all about. I sent the legislators to go to Kenya to study how the Maasai people are doing. And they were there for about 6 weeks or more to study right from the local man to the even big Maasai people, and then study how every day Jumbo Jet is exporting milk and beef from Nairobi Airport. I am hoping to turn Jalingo Airport to that. And I'm going to work assiduously to make sure that the ranching succeeds. Because even those cattle rearers, they are exposed to too many things. I have been battling with cattle rustling immediately I resume office. I have been battling with so many things happening to them, even snake bites in the bush. And then the children are not even having the opportunity to go to schools. So if it's in a ranch, then government can assist by providing medical veterinary doctors, provide schools, provide other facilities, and you can monitor them. In any case, as you move with this cattle, you lost weight. And so they are not even benefiting from that. And now it's even worse than before. Before, it was a harmonious living between the cattleman and the farmers. They go to their farms, they stay there, they excrete, they leave manure, and they go peacefully. But now it's not peaceful anymore.
So how is this law then? Because we've seen protests. We saw protests on TV. We saw you having a rapport with security agencies and even some of the herdsmen trying to ensure that everybody is carried along. What is the current relationship between farmers and herdsmen since the bill was signed into law?
I would say the relationship is cordial. And I commend the 2 committees that I've set up. They are doing a good job by sensitizing the people. And the bill is open. They distribute the bill. And the bill is printed in 3 languages so that the local people can even read and understand. They are giving them the impression that they will no longer be allowed to rear their cattle any longer. Some different stories that are not palatable is being told to the illiterate people. But I thank God that these committees are sensitizing them and then trying to make sure that they understand. The bill has nothing to do other than to allow them rear cattle in a modern way, in a better way, and to be more productive, both to themselves and to us. You don't want somebody to lose his life. You come to a farm, you wipe off everybody there, and then you walk to another farm. That is not legal. That is illegal.
Let's quickly talk about...
So let's stop that and bring the people to understand that you can still rear this cattle in a more meaningful manner.
If we can quickly squeeze this in, then, do you think then, because you've talked about how Taraba is also a mini Nigeria in the past,
Yeah.
and you've had to manage the, you know, the yearnings of the different ethnic groups.
Yes.
So, are you also following this conversation on restructuring, which is happening across the country?
I'm following very well, but let me tell you, our constitution is one of the biggest in the world. I have known countries that have very thin constitution. The basic thing worrying us in Nigeria is we are not being fair, we are not following the constitution, and we are not doing things rightly. If all the things that are in our constitution is being followed correctly, rule of law, fairness, allowing people to do things according to the law, you will not need any restructuring because the constitution has taken care of most of the things.
So you don't see the need for, you think it's constitution is self-sufficient?
The constitution is very sufficient, but those behind applying the constitution are not doing the correct thing. I'm accusing our class, the politicians. If we can do the correct thing, the constitution has provided enough for us. So you restructure what? You want us to go back to the region? I'm sure people in my states will protest because their lingo will never look like what it is if we are still in the region where everybody trooped to Kaduna. And I'm sure too the same will happen in the West where everybody has to go now to Ibadan. Ikiti is changing, other state capitals are changing, or Abeokuta will never have changed if the Lagos was just...
So what was the reaction then when you heard that, you know, members of the current party were accusing the opposition of being the ones spearheading this talk about restructuring?
No, if I'm spearheading anything, I'm spearheading that Nigeria should focus on implementation of our constitution. Fairness of everything we do, doing things correctly as is spelled out in the constitution. Once we can apply that, I'm telling you, all the noise about restructuring will die down.
But you've also taken issue with the fact that that constitution gives powers to the governor. I mean, in the Land Use Act, gives powers to the governors to own the land, but then the federal government owns the things under the land.
I agree.
Isn't that a problem for you?
Yes, there is a problem. There are fouls. But let's correct them. You always get these flaws where the exclusivity of the Mineral Act is in the federal government, and then the same constitution gives me the right on the land. So how do I own the land, but then you are telling me that the mineral below belongs to the federal government? So we must iron out. Otherwise there will be conflict like I had in my state. Somebody has a CFO since 1978. And then somebody mounts his rig that he has gotten paper from Abuja to mine the minerals below. Now how does he access below? He has to pass through the land. The governor is in charge on top. The federal government is in charge below. These are areas that we need to re-amend.
Isn't that what restructuring is about?
Well, if you call it restructuring, to me is too harsh. I will say re-amend or change or make it amiable.
Just quickly then, your party is going to be holding a convention in December.
Yeah.
Who are you supporting for the presidential slot?
Look, the first thing PDP should do is to make sure that we put somebody competent, able personality as our chairman.
You don't want the zoning formula to hold?
No, the zoning already, we have gone past that. The presidential is zoned to the north.
Have you? Because, I mean, your brother governor just declared to be president.
Well, I'm telling you the position of the party. We can differ individually, but the party position is clear to everybody. The party has said zoning presidential is in the north, and then the party leadership to the south. And so what we should concentrate now is to get a competent party leader, somebody who can carry the whole of us. And once we put a proper and competent and a person who can harness all of us together, then we can talk of who becomes the presidential candidate.
So in the South, who are you throwing your weight behind as the chairman of the party?
Well, it's what the people want. If it's the Southern people who have to choose what they want, we will have to look at a credible person If they bring somebody who is not credible, we will reject.
Governor Darius Ishaku, we have to thank you for coming on Hard Copy.
Thank you very much indeed.
Well, that's the program tonight. Your feedback means a lot to us. So talk to us using the handles on your screen. Thank you for watching. I'm Mao Good night.